Ladies and gentlemen, everything begins with a vision. Every achievement, every success, every transformation in life starts first in your mind. You cannot create what you do not first see. And I want you to understand something profoundly simple today. If you cannot see it, you cannot achieve it. Think about it. Every invention, every breakthrough, every world-changing idea started as a thought. Someone, somewhere saw it first. They imagined it. They visualized it in their mind's eye long before it became a reality. And here's the truth. Your mind is the most powerful tool you will ever have. But like any tool, it must be used correctly. I want you to ask yourself right now, what do you truly want in life? Not what you think you should want, not what society tells you to want, but what burns in your heart. What excites you so deeply that when you imagine it, you feel alive, unstoppable in your soul. Too many people drift through life waiting for opportunities, waiting for circumstances to align, waiting for luck to find them. They forget that life does not hand out greatness. It responds to your inner vision. It responds to the clarity of your mind and the strength of your belief. When you see the life you want in your mind, something incredible happens. Your body, your energy, your focus, your actions, they all begin to align with that vision. Your mind becomes a magnet. You start noticing opportunities you never saw before. You start attracting people, situations, and resources that resonate with the image in your mind. But there's a catch. Seeing the life you want is not enough if your vision is vague or small. You cannot settle for mediocre thoughts. You must see it in vivid detail. Feel it, smell it, hear it. Live it in your imagination as though it's happening today. The more real it is in your mind, the faster it will manifest in your life. Here's what I want you to. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture your ideal day. Picture the life you want. Where are you? Who is with you? What are you doing? How do you feel? Are you healthy, strong, confident, fulfilled? Hold that picture in your mind. Do not let doubt or fear dilute it. Hold it with intensity, with passion, with unwavering faith that this is your destiny. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but my life isn't like that. I have debts, I have challenges, I have limitations. Let me tell you something. Limitations are only real if you see them as walls. If you see them as challenges, as stepping stones, as fuel, they become your launch pad. When you see the life you want in your mind starts rewiring itself. Your focus sharpens, your energy grows, your actions start to align with your vision. You see, life does not work on luck. Life works on clarity. Life works on belief. Life works on relentless, unstoppable action inspired by the vision you hold in your mind. If you can see it, you can become it. If you can see it, you can do it. If you can see it, you can transform not only your life, but the lives of everyone around you. So today, I challenge you, start seeing the life you want. Don't settle for scraps of someone else's dream. Don't accept a life designed by fear or doubt. Design your life in your mind first. Create it with detail, feel it with emotion, and then take massive action. Because a vision without action is just a daydream, but a vision with relentless action. That is unstoppable power. That is transformation. That is destiny. Remember this. What you see in your mind, you will hold in your hands. What you imagine, you will experience. What you believe, you will become. So see the life you want in your mind and then go claim it with every fiber of your being. Everything you achieve in life begins with a vision. Before any success story, before any breakthrough, before any moment of triumph, there is always a picture in the mind, a clear, vivid image of what is possible. You see, the human mind is not just a tool for thinking, it is a factory for creating reality. The moment you begin to imagine something, the universe begins to respond to that image, aligning people, circumstances, and energy toward making it real. Many people underestimate the sheer power of visualization. They think that seeing is just a passive act, that it's something they do for fun, something they do when they daydream. But seeing is the blueprint for creation. It is the first step in every journey, the spark that ignites momentum. Without a vision, without a clear mental image of what you want, you are like a ship drifting aimlessly on the ocean, waiting for the wind to push you somewhere, anywhere. Now, consider this. Every successful person, every inventor, every leader, every athlete, every entrepreneur started with a picture in their mind. They didn't have the money, the connections, or the perfect circumstances at first. What they had was clarity of vision. They could see themselves succeeding, even when the world around them seemed to suggest otherwise. They could see themselves crossing the finish line, signing that deal, holding that award, or reaching that milestone long before it became tangible. And this is the point most people miss. The mind does not distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is actually happening. When you see it clearly, when you feel it with emotion, your mind begins to treat it as real. Your body responds, your energy shifts, your focus sharpens. You begin to act in alignment with that vision, sometimes unconsciously, sometimes deliberately, but always in ways that move you closer to its reality. It is not enough to simply wish for something. Wishing is passive, hoping is weak, and dreaming without detail is like trying to navigate a city with a blurry map. Your vision must be vivid, specific, and emotionally charged. You must see it, feel it, hear it, and even taste it in your imagination as though it is happening now. Picture your ideal life. Picture yourself achieving your goals. Picture your morning routine, your work, your relationships, the people you interact with, the feelings you experience. Fill it with color, with texture, with intensity. The more real it is in your mind, the faster it becomes real in your life. Your mind cannot create what it does. Not first perceived. Many people struggle because they allow their vision to be vague, small, or uncertain. They say things like, I want to be successful someday, or I want to be happy one day. But what does that even mean? What does success look like? What does happiness feel like? You must define it. You must see it clearly. When you do, your brain starts working for you instead of against you. It begins to scan for opportunities, solutions, and pathways that match the image in your mind. Your subconscious mind, which controls 95% of your actions, starts to align automatically with that vision. You begin noticing things you never noticed before. People, chances, ideas that were invisible to you suddenly appear as if by magic. This is not magic. It is the power of the mind creating reality from a clearly defined vision. Think about the difference between someone with a clear picture of their future and someone who doesn't have one. The first person moves with purpose. They know where they are going. They know what steps to take, and they adjust when obstacles appear. The second person drifts, reacting to circumstances, hoping that things will somehow work out. The first person is a magnet, attracting everything they need to reach their goal. The second is a leaf in the wind, tossed around by the events of life. The difference lies entirely in the mind, in the clarity of vision, in the ability to see what is possible before it happens. Now, seeing is only the beginning. To truly harness the power of vision, you must feel it emotionally. Emotion is the fuel that transforms a mental picture into kinetic energy, into action, into results. When you can imagine yourself achieving your goal and feel the joy, the pride, the excitement of it, your entire nervous system responds. Your posture changes, your energy rises, your focus sharpens, and your actions become aligned with that vision. You are no longer operating on hope or chance. You are operating on certainty, on belief, on a deep knowing that what you see in your mind can and will be your reality. Too often, people allow fear, doubt, or the opinions of others to cloud their vision. They let the world tell them what is possible and what is not. They allow past failures to define what they can imagine for the future. But the truth is that nothing outside of your mind limits what you can create. The only limits are those you accept internally. When you see the life you want in your mind, you are creating a template for reality. You are telling your subconscious, this is what I will become. This is what I will attract. This is what I will achieve. And once the mind is aligned with that template, everything in your external world begins to follow. The most successful people in history, the people who have created extraordinary lives, are not exceptional because of luck or talent alone. They are exceptional because they saw something before anyone else saw it. They imagined it when it did not exist. They felt it as if it were already theirs. And they committed to it with every fiber of their being. They understood a principle that most people ignore. If you cannot see it in your mind, you cannot hold it in your hands. The mind is the blueprint. Life is the construction site. Every thought, every image, every feeling of certainty you create in your mind is like a brick, a beam, a support structure for the reality you are building. And here's something even more powerful. Seeing your vision does not only affect you, it affects everyone around you. When you operate from a clear vision, your energy becomes magnetic. People are drawn to your certainty, your focus, your clarity. Opportunities that once seemed impossible suddenly appear, doors open, conversations happen, resources align. You begin to live a life that is congruent with the image you hold in your mind. Vision creates reality not only in the tangible results you achieve, but also in the influence you have, the energy you emit, and the momentum you generate in every area of life. But vision alone is not enough if it is passive. It must be combined with action, with deliberate, massive, consistent action toward the life you imagine. Vision sets the target. Action fires the arrow. Every small step, every consistent effort, every decision you make either moves you closer to the image in your mind or further away from it. When your vision is vivid and emotionally charged, it becomes impossible to stay still, impossible to settle, impossible to be distracted by trivial concerns. You start making choices that are aligned with your vision, even when it is uncomfortable or inconvenient. Your actions become intentional, your habits become strategic, and your results begin to reflect the clarity of your imagination. Seeing the life you want in your mind is not about wishful thinking or idle daydreams. It is about creating a living, breathing, dynamic blueprint for reality. It is about programming your subconscious mind to scan for possibilities, to generate solutions, to attract people and resources that align with your vision. It is about creating an emotional resonance so strong that you are compelled to act in ways that ensure your vision becomes tangible. It is about understanding that your mind is the most powerful force you have, and that every great life starts first in the mind before it manifests in the world. When you understand this principle, you will never look at life the same way again. You will never settle for drifting, for waiting, for reacting. You will take control of your mind, harness the power of your imagination, and see the life you want as if it is already yours. And once you do, everything begins to shift. Your energy, your focus, your confidence, your actions, and ultimately your results' clarity is the secret weapon that separates those who succeed from those who merely exist. It is not enough to have dreams or desires. Without clarity, your actions lack direction, your energy dissipates, and your potential remains dormant. When you are clear about what you want, when you know exactly where you are headed, your mind and body naturally align to take the steps necessary to reach that destination. Think of it like a compass in the wilderness. Without it, you may walk endlessly and never arrive at your destination. But with it, every step you take, every choice you make, brings you closer to your goal. Clarity is not just knowing what you want, it is understanding why you want it, what it looks like in its fullest expression, and how it feels when you achieve it. Many people live their lives in a fog of uncertainty. They have vague goals like, I want to be successful or I want to be happy, but they cannot articulate what that truly means. What does success feel like to you? What does happiness look like in your life? When you cannot see these things clearly, your mind cannot focus, your decisions lack precision, and your actions become scattered. You may work hard, you may try many things, but without clarity, your efforts are diluted. Clarity creates a laser focus, a sharpness that eliminates distractions and channels your energy toward what truly matters. When you are clear, every decision you make becomes a choice aligned with your vision. Every action, no matter how small, becomes a deliberate step toward creating the life you want. Clarity fuels action, because the mind cannot act without direction. The human brain is incredibly powerful, but it needs a target. Imagine aiming a powerful cannon without specifying where it should fire. The energy exists, but it dissipates in random directions, accomplishing nothing. When you are clear, your mind sets the target, you know where to focus, what to prioritize, and what to let go of. Clarity transforms indecision into certainty, hesitation into momentum, and confusion into results. It is the difference between wandering aimlessly through life and moving purposefully toward your destiny. One of the most important aspects of clarity is specificity. Vague goals create vague results. You cannot be clear if you say, I want more money. How much more? By when? For what purpose? You must define your vision in precise terms. You must see it, feel it, and quantify it if you want a better career. Be specific about the role, the responsibilities, the skills you will develop, the impact you will have. If you want health, specify what level of fitness, energy, or vitality you want to achieve. The clearer your vision, the more your mind can generate strategies, solutions, and opportunities to make it real. Clarity is a signal to your subconscious mind saying, this is the target, this is the path, focus all your energy here. But clarity is more than just knowing the outcome. It is also about understanding the process. It is about mapping out the steps required to move from where you are now to where you want to be. People often fail because they are clear about what they want, but unclear about how to get it. They see the destination, but not the road. Action without a clear path is frustrating, inefficient, and often leads to giving up. When you are clear, however, you break down your vision into actionable steps. You create a roadmap that guides your behavior, your habits, and your decisions. You know which actions are high leverage and which are distractions. You begin to operate with intention rather than chance. Emotion plays a crucial role in clarity. Seeing your goal in your mind is one thing, but feeling it deeply is another. When you connect your vision to intense emotions, passion, excitement, desire, even fear, you ignite a force within yourself that propels you forward. Your mind cannot ignore emotions. They serve as the fuel for action. When clarity is combined with emotion, you do not just know what to do, you are compelled to do it. You act with urgency, persistence, and unwavering commitment. Every challenge becomes a stepping stone, every obstacle a lesson, and every setback a temporary delay rather than a permanent barrier. Another important aspect of clarity is eliminating ambiguity. Most people fail to act because they are confused, conflicted, or distracted by too many possibilities. Clarity cuts through the noise. It allows you to say no to what does not serve your vision and yes to what does. It gives you the confidence to make decisions quickly, knowing that each choice either moves you closer to your goal or provides valuable feedback to adjust your strategy. The more clarity you have, the less energy you waste on indecision, doubt, or fear. Your focus becomes sharp, your priorities clear, and your actions unstoppable. Clarity also impacts how you perceive challenges. When you are unclear, obstacles seem insurmountable, setbacks feel permanent, and failure feels like the end of the road. But when you are clear, obstacles become opportunities. Every problem, every challenge, every resistance is seen through the lens of your vision. You ask, what can I learn? How can I adjust? What step can I take now? Clarity transforms fear into confidence, confusion into strategy, and frustration into motivation. It gives you the ability to navigate uncertainty with poise and power. The connection between clarity and action is not just psychological, it is physiological. When your brain knows the target, it sends signals throughout your nervous system, preparing your body to act. Your energy rises, your posture changes, your heart rate adjusts, and your focus sharpens. You become alert to opportunities, solutions, and resources that previously went unnoticed. This alignment of mind and body creates momentum, and momentum is the key to sustained action. One clear step leads to another, one decision builds on the next, and before long, you are in a state of unstoppable forward motion. Clarity fuels action not only in the short term, but also in the long term. It creates consistency. People who are unclear drift, start many projects, abandon most, and achieve little. People who are clear persist. They know why they are doing what they are doing. They see the impact of their actions and they maintain focus even when motivation wanes. Clarity provides direction when energy fades, focus when distractions appear, and courage when fear rises. It is the anchor that keeps you steady, even in turbulent times. One of the most practical ways to develop clarity is through reflection and visualization. Take time to define your goals in detail. Write them down. Imagine yourself living them. Feel the emotions associated with achieving them. Ask yourself why they matter. The more specific and vivid your vision, the more your mind and body align to bring it to reality. Clarity is not a one-time exercise. It is a daily practice. Each morning, remind yourself of your vision, review your priorities, and commit to the actions that matter most. The repetition reinforces the target in your subconscious, making it easier to stay on course and impossible to ignore. Clarity also allows you to measure progress. When you are clear, you know what success looks like. You can track milestones, celebrate achievements, and adjust strategies when necessary. Without clarity, success is ambiguous, fleeting, and unsatisfying. Clear vision provides both a destination and a map, and this combination is the engine of unstoppable action. It is the bridge between imagination and reality, between intention and outcome, between desire and achievement. When clarity fuels your actions, you enter a state of flow. Your decisions become precise, your energy becomes efficient, and your results multiply. You stop wasting time on distractions and start operating with focus and intensity. You begin to attract people, opportunities, and resources that align with your vision. Your actions become intentional, powerful, and transformative. You begin to see the direct connection between what you think, what you feel, and what you do. Clarity is the spark that turns intention into results, thought into action, and dreams into reality. Obstacles are not the enemy. They're not signals that you should give up, slow down, or settle. In fact, obstacles are proof that you are on the right path, proof that you are pushing beyond comfort, proof that you are growing. Every successful person you can think of, every leader, innovator, athlete, or entrepreneur has faced obstacles, sometimes enormous, sometimes relentless. What separates those who succeed from those who fail is not the absence of obstacles, but the mindset with which they face them. When you understand that obstacles are not roadblocks, but stepping stones, your entire approach to life changes. Suddenly, challenges become opportunities, difficulties become lessons, and setbacks become the fuel for your next move. Most people react to obstacles with frustration, fear, or avoidance. They see a challenge and think, this is impossible, this is too hard, I cannot do this. They allow the obstacle to define them, to stop them, to convince them that their dream is unattainable. But this is the trap of the mind. Obstacles are not there to defeat you. They are there to teach you, to strengthen you, and to prepare you for what is coming. Every obstacle carries a hidden lesson, a hidden advantage, a hidden opportunity to grow stronger, smarter, and more resilient. When you face an obstacle, the first step is to shift your perspective. Instead of asking, why me or why now? Ask, what is this obstacle trying to teach me? Or how can I use this challenge to move closer to my goal? When you start looking for the lesson, the opportunity, or the next step, you transform frustration into curiosity, fear into strategy, and resistance into momentum. Obstacles are not random. They are aligned with your growth. They appear precisely at the moments when you are ready to rise, when you are ready to learn, when you are ready to become stronger. Consider this. Every challenge you face develops qualities that are essential for long-term success. Resilience, patience, creativity, problem solving, and determination. When you struggle with a problem and refuse to give up, you build strength. When you encounter setbacks and keep moving forward, you cultivate perseverance. When doors close and you find another way, you develop resourcefulness. These qualities cannot be learned in comfort, they cannot be developed in ease, and they cannot be earned by avoiding difficulty. They are forged in the fires of obstacles, molded by challenges, and polished by persistence. Obstacles also force clarity and focus. When everything is easy, people often drift, they procrastinate, and they lack urgency. But when an obstacle appears, it demands attention. It forces you to assess your strategy, refine your approach, and prioritize what matters most. It separates the signal from the noise, the essential from the trivial. Every obstacle is a filter, a refining process that strengthens your vision, sharpens your focus, and hones your determination. Without obstacles, your vision may remain vague, your actions scattered, and your growth limited. The key to transforming obstacles into stepping stones is the mindset you bring to them. Do not see them as punishment or failure. See them as a call to action, a challenge to elevate your game, an invitation to innovate. Ask yourself, how can I use this challenge to get stronger, smarter, or faster? Or what can I learn here that will make me unstoppable? When you adopt this mindset, obstacles lose their power to stop you. Instead, they empower you. They give you experience, insight, and momentum. They are the ladder you climb to reach the next level of achievement. Action is essential when facing obstacles. It is not enough to reframe the challenge. Mentally, you must act on it. Every obstacle presents multiple solutions. You can try a different strategy, adjust your plan, seek guidance, or innovate entirely. The people who succeed are not the ones who avoid obstacles. They are the ones who confront them head on, explore every option, and refuse to be defeated. Action converts obstacles from intimidating roadblocks into stepping stones that carry you toward your goal. Each step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to breakthrough. Obstacles are also excellent teachers of patience and timing. Sometimes the challenge you face cannot be overcome immediately. Sometimes the solution requires waiting, preparation, or persistence. When you encounter such obstacles, it is an opportunity to practice patience, discipline, and long-term focus. You learn to trust the process, to trust your abilities, and to trust that every challenge is temporary and solvable. Patience is not passive. It is an active state of strategic focus, resilience, and persistence in the face of difficulty. Every obstacle you overcome, every challenge you persist through, builds character and capability, preparing you for the next stage of success. Another critical aspect of obstacles is the insight they provide about your strengths and weaknesses. Challenges reveal areas where you are strong, as well as areas where improvement is needed. This self-awareness is invaluable. Without obstacles, you may never recognize the skills you need to develop, the mindset you need to cultivate, or the habits you need to change. Each challenge provides feedback, guidance, and the opportunity for growth. By approaching obstacles with curiosity and courage, you transform what could be a source of frustration into a source of learning and empowerment. Obstacles also build confidence. Every time you face a difficulty and navigate it successfully, your belief in yourself grows. You realize that you are capable of far more than you imagined, that no challenge is insurmountable, and that your potential is not limited by circumstance. This confidence is contagious. It changes how you approach future challenges, how you interact with opportunities, and how you live your life. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you earn through overcoming obstacles. and stepping repeatedly into the unknown. One of the most powerful truths about obstacles is that they shape your story. Your life is not defined by the moments of ease, but by how you respond to the moments of difficulty. Every setback, failure, or challenge is a chapter in your journey, a critical piece of the narrative that will one day define your legacy. By embracing obstacles, learning from them, and using them as stepping stones, you write a story of resilience, courage, and unstoppable progress. People will remember not the easy path you walked, but the way you rose above challenges, overcame adversity, and transformed obstacles into milestones on your journey. Obstacles also strengthen your commitment to your vision. When the path is easy, it is tempting to abandon your goal at the first hint of difficulty. But when challenges arise, you are forced to confront your commitment. Are you truly willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to push past discomfort, uncertainty, and resistance? The obstacles test your dedication, and by passing these tests, you deepen your resolve. Commitment becomes a muscle, strengthened each time you face and overcome adversity, and this muscle will carry you through future challenges with greater ease and confidence. Finally, obstacles teach gratitude and perspective. When you recognize that every challenge is a stepping stone, every difficulty becomes an opportunity, and every setback becomes a lesson, you begin to appreciate the growth and transformation that comes from adversity. You understand that life is not about avoiding challenges, but about embracing them and extracting the wisdom, strength, and resilience they offer. Gratitude for obstacles is a mindset that shifts your focus from frustration to empowerment, from fear to action, and from limitation to possibility. Belief is the fuel that transforms thoughts into actions, actions into results, and results into lasting success. Without belief, even the clearest vision, the most detailed plan, and the most massive effort can fail to produce the outcome you desire. Belief is not wishful thinking or blind optimism. It is a deep, unshakable certainty that what you see, what you imagine, and what you commit to is not only possible, but inevitable if you act with focus and persistence. When you believe in yourself, when you truly trust your capacity to create the life you want, you unlock potential that you may have never realized existed. Your mind, your energy, and your actions all begin to align with the reality that your belief projects, and suddenly what once seemed impossible becomes attainable. The power of belief is evident in every aspect of life. Consider someone standing at the starting line of a race. The person who believes in their training, in their ability, and in their goal will run with purpose, energy, and confidence. The person who doubts themselves will hesitate, expend energy on fear, and may even stop before reaching their potential. Belief magnifies power because it creates certainty. When your mind is certain, your body acts with precision, your focus sharpens, and your resilience strengthens. Belief is the amplifier that takes your raw ability and multiplies its impact. Belief also shapes perception. What you believe about yourself and the world determines what you notice, how you interpret events, and how you respond to challenges. If you believe that opportunities are scarce, your mind will focus on scarcity, seeing obstacles where possibilities exist. If you believe that challenges are stepping stones, your mind will search for solutions and pathways that others might overlook. Belief filters reality, highlighting what aligns with your certainty and filtering out what does not. In this way, belief is both a lens and a magnet, shaping your perception and attracting experiences, people, and circumstances that resonate with your inner certainty. One of the most profound truths about belief is that it creates action. People who believe in their ability to succeed do not wait for perfect conditions. They take initiative. They act with courage, persistence, and resilience. Belief transforms hesitation into momentum, fear into energy, and doubt into strategy. When you truly believe in your vision, you are compelled to act. And these actions, in turn, create momentum that propels you forward. Every action inspired by belief compounds, creating results that reinforce your certainty, and a cycle of empowerment is born. Belief is not just about confidence and ability. It is about faith and possibility. It is the certainty that your vision can become reality, that your goals are achievable, and that your efforts will be rewarded. Many people fail not because they lack talent or resources, but because they lack belief. They doubt their capacity, question their worthiness, and hesitate when decisive action is required. Without belief, the mind creates limitations where none exist. With belief, the mind expands, exploring strategies, options, and pathways that were previously invisible. Belief turns the invisible into the visible, the improbable into the achievable, and the potential into reality. The power of belief is reinforced through repeated experience. Every time you act on a belief and achieve a result, no matter how small, it strengthens your certainty. your confidence grows, your energy rises, and your capacity for greater challenges expands. This is why deliberate practice, taking action, and achieving incremental successes are critical. Belief is not static, it is dynamic. It grows stronger with evidence, with repetition, and with experience. Every success feeds belief, and every belief fuels further success. This is the cycle of unstoppable momentum that leads to extraordinary achievement. Belief also influences your ability to overcome obstacles. Challenges are inevitable in any pursuit of significance. Without belief, obstacles can become overwhelming, paralyzing, and discouraging. But when belief is strong, obstacles are reframed as opportunities, tests, and temporary setbacks. The person with belief sees possibilities where others see problems, solutions where others see dead ends, and opportunities where others see limitations. Belief magnifies resilience. It allows you to persist when others quit, to innovate when others give up, and to rise stronger after setbacks. Belief is contagious. When you operate from a state of certainty and conviction, it influences those around you. People are drawn to confidence, clarity, and the energy of someone who believes. Leaders who inspire do so because their belief radiates outward, motivating action, fostering trust, and igniting potential in others. Belief multiplies not only your own power, but also the impact you have on the people, opportunities, and environment around you. It creates a ripple effect, amplifying energy, focus, and results beyond what you could achieve alone. Another critical aspect of belief is that it shapes long-term vision. When you believe in the possibility of a significant, extraordinary life, you set higher goals, take bolder actions, and embrace challenges that others avoid. Belief expands your horizon. It enables you to see beyond immediate limitations, beyond temporary setbacks, and beyond the conventional standards of what is possible. Belief is the engine of audacious goals, ambitious pursuits, and life-changing achievements. It allows you to imagine a life beyond ordinary circumstances and to take the necessary steps to make that vision real. Belief also strengthens mental and emotional resilience. Life will always test you with setbacks, failures, criticism, and unexpected challenges. Without belief, these tests can shake your confidence, derail your focus, and undermine your momentum. But when your belief is anchored deeply, these external pressures are absorbed, processed, and used as fuel for growth. Belief provides a foundation of certainty that is unshakable by circumstance. It allows you to maintain direction, clarity, and energy even in the face of adversity, because you trust the process, trust your abilities, and trust that your vision is achievable. To cultivate belief, it is essential to feed your mind with certainty. Surround yourself with people, ideas, and experiences that reinforce your capacity and potential. Reflect on past successes, no matter how small, and use them as evidence that you are capable. Visualize outcomes in vivid detail, imagining the sights, sounds, emotions, and sensations of success. Affirm your capability daily. Replace doubt with questions like, how can I make this work? Rather than statements like, I cannot do this. Belief is cultivated through repetition, reinforcement, and deliberate attention. It is a muscle that grows stronger the more you exercise it. Belief magnifies power because it aligns your mind, body, and actions. When you truly believe, your decisions become decisive. Your focus sharpens, your energy intensifies, and your actions become consistent and effective. Obstacles no longer intimidate you. Opportunities become visible, and every effort compounds into results. Belief creates momentum, and momentum is the engine of transformation. The stronger your belief, the more unstoppable your trajectory becomes. Belief also shapes your identity. When you act from a place of certainty, you start to embody the person capable of achieving your vision. Your habits, choices, and mindset begin to reflect the reality you are creating. You no longer see yourself as limited by circumstance, fear, or past failures. You see yourself as capable, resilient, and powerful. This alignment between identity and belief is the key to sustained action, unwavering motivation, and long-term achievement. Action is the bridge between your dreams and your destiny. It is not enough to see a vision, to have clarity, to overcome obstacles, or to believe in your power. Without action, nothing changes. Dreams remain fantasies, visions remain imagination, and potential remains untapped unless you move, unless you do, unless you take deliberate, massive steps toward what you want. Action is the fuel that transforms intention into results, that converts desire into reality, and that creates momentum powerful enough to overcome fear, doubt, and resistance. Every breakthrough, every achievement, every life-changing result is rooted in action. And the quality, consistency, and intensity of your action determines the magnitude of your success. Many people delay, procrastinate, or wait for the perfect moment to act. They think they need more resources, more knowledge, more luck, or better circumstances. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect moment. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates results. The person who acts decisively learns faster, adapts more effectively, and attracts the resources, opportunities, and people needed to succeed. Waiting for perfection is the enemy of progress. Those who act, even imperfectly, gain experience, insight, and traction. They learn by doing, adjust along the way, and move steadily toward their vision. Action also builds confidence. There is no greater teacher than experience. Each step you take towards your goal, no matter how small, proves to yourself that you are capable. Action reinforces belief. It transforms fear into courage, hesitation into momentum, and doubt into determination. When you take consistent action, your mind begins to trust itself. Your body becomes conditioned for effort, and your energy aligns with your vision. The more you act, the stronger your confidence grows, and the more unstoppable you become. Confidence is not innate, it is forged in the fire of action. Action turns learning into mastery. Knowledge alone is powerless without execution. You can read every book, watch every video, and attend every seminar, but until you implement what you learn, nothing changes. Action allows you to apply knowledge, test strategies, discover what works, and refine what does not. Each step forward, each experiment, each attempt builds competence, skill, and mastery. Through action, theory becomes practice, and practice becomes expertise. The person who acts becomes the person who achieves. Action is also essential because it creates feedback. Life will never deliver results in isolation. Every attempt, every effort, every step provides information. Success is rarely immediate, but consistent action allows you to learn, adjust, and improve. The person who acts learns faster, sees opportunities others miss, and adapts to challenges with agility. Feedback turns obstacles into lessons, mistakes into growth, and failure into momentum. Inaction produces nothing, while action produces clarity, insight, and progress. Consistency amplifies the power of action. One step taken once may create a spark, but repeated, persistent action generates a force that is unstoppable. Consistency transforms small efforts into significant results over time. It compounds, building momentum, refining skill, and strengthening character. Each day, each effort, each commitment moves you closer to your vision. Action is not just a single event. It is a lifestyle, a habit, and a discipline that compounds into destiny. Action also aligns your energy with your vision. When you act, your mind, body, and emotions come into harmony. Your focus sharpens, your motivation intensifies, and your resilience strengthens. You stop overthinking, second-guessing, and hesitating. You begin to move with purpose, determination, and momentum. Each action reinforces your commitment, strengthens your belief, and propels you forward. The person who acts is no longer controlled by circumstance. They control their destiny. The power of action is magnified when it is combined with clarity and belief. Clarity tells you where to go. Belief tells you that you can achieve it. Action moves you in that direction. Together, they form a cycle of unstoppable momentum. The clearer your vision, the stronger your belief, and the more deliberate your actions, the faster and more effectively your dreams manifest in reality. Action is the engine, belief is the fuel, and clarity is the compass that guides you. The action is also transformative on a personal level. It changes who you are as much as what you achieve. Every step you take toward your vision shapes your habits, your mindset, and your identity. You become someone who acts decisively, someone who perseveres in the face of obstacles, someone who embodies courage, resilience, and focus. Action changes your perception of yourself. You no longer see yourself as limited or constrained. You see yourself as capable, powerful, and unstoppable. Through action, you become the person necessary to live the life you envision. Action turns dreams into momentum. Once you start, the energy you generate propels you forward. One step leads to the next, one decision triggers another, and one success fuels the next attempt. Momentum compounds exponentially, and the person who acts consistently finds that obstacles become easier, opportunities become clearer, and results become inevitable. Action produces velocity, and velocity is what turns intention into reality, potential into performance, and vision into destiny. Action is also the antidote to fear. Fear thrives in inaction. Doubt grows when you hesitate, but every step you take, every move you make, every effort you commit dispels fear. Action generates confidence, courage, and proof. It teaches you that you are capable, resourceful, and resilient. Fear is not eliminated by wishing or hoping. It is conquered through deliberate, decisive action. The more you act, the more empowered you become, and the more unstoppable your journey becomes. Action creates accountability. When you commit to acting, you become responsible for your results. You cannot blame circumstance, others, or luck. You take ownership of your life, your choices, and your outcomes. Accountability is a catalyst for growth, discipline, and excellence. It forces you to focus on what matters, to prioritize effectively, and to execute consistently. The person who takes action accepts responsibility, and this responsibility fuels both personal and professional growth. Action is the catalyst for impact. Dreams without action only affect imagination. When you act, you create influence. Your efforts touch people, change situations, and shift dynamics. Action allows you to contribute, to lead, to inspire, and to make a difference. Every effort, every initiative, every step taken with purpose amplifies your ability to impact your life and the lives of those around you. Action is not only the pathway to personal success, but also the mechanism through which you create legacy. The most successful people in the world are defined not by their talent or resources, but by their ability to take massive action. They do not wait for perfect conditions, for complete certainty, or for everything to align. They act, they move, they push, they adapt, they persist. Every obstacle is met with effort, every doubt is met with determination, and every opportunity is seized through deliberate action. Action multiplies potential, and without it, potential remains unfulfilled, dreams remain distant, and destiny remains unrealized. Action is also transformative in time. Small actions repeated daily create monumental results over months and years. Every call made, every task completed, every conversation initiated, every decision executed compounds into momentum that eventually defines your life. The person who takes action consistently, no matter how imperfect, will find that results begin to appear, doors open, and life transforms. Dreams evolve into reality, intentions solidify into achievements, and aspirations are converted into measurable outcomes. Action is unstoppable when it is deliberate, focused, and consistent. It is the difference between talking about your dreams and living them. It is the bridge between imagination and reality, desire and achievement, potential and performance. The person who understands that action is non-negotiable, who commits to moving forward every day, and who refuses to wait for permission or circumstance becomes unstoppable. Action turns the unseen into the seen, the hoped for into the attained, and the possible into the inevitable.